All right, so first vine being pruned this year. We're in a nice cold time of year. We want to get ahead of the warmer weather that's to come and get these things pruned before there's any sap moving. We're still weeks from that, so there's no problems at all. First step in pruning this vine is to determine where the healthy, strong canes are that are in the right position, meaning below the bottom wire. We're using vertical shoot positioning in our vineyards, so it's a bit of a different process than maybe you might see a top wire vineyard on hybrids. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start to just clean out, always cutting a bit away. You don't want to cut too close to the intersection because that can, if you leave a little bit, that'll decrease the disease's ability to get in the vine. So we're going to start to clean this up just to get a clear idea of structure and what we're actually looking for here. So anything that's too low, we're not going to use. But this is our critical area because it's right below our catch wire. So because this is below, we're going to take this cane, and this is going to be one that we're going to keep because we're going to want to tie it down to that. So that means that probably for next year, we can keep a bud in this position to regrow this cane, which next year will replace that cane. So we're going to take this out because it's going the wrong direction. You can see it's off of that trunk, so it's moving the wrong way. So we're going to clear that away. And as you start to clean things out, you can get a much clearer idea of what you're looking at. And let's see. You see, actually, I've got to change now because we have two trunks here for cold damage, and just to give us more options should there be any damage during the winter. So we need to get these on the right side. So we have essentially this vine here is over here right now, so we're gonna have to move that across. Gonna clean it up the whole way down just to give ourselves a clear idea. That's coming this way, and now we can see that our trunks are on their own respective sides of the stake. Pruning in these young years takes a little bit longer because you're really setting up the structure for the future of the vineyard. You can't rush it. You need to fix mistakes like this because for whatever reason over the vintage, these two canes crossed over each other. So we're gonna keep, this is a really nice cane. So this one is gonna come this way, which means we don't need this lower cane anymore. This one's gone. This is our best right here. We'll just get that a clean up. This little.
And what do you do with all of the cuttings?
The cuttings, we're gonna pick those up and burn them. So you do it on nice crisp snow like this.
And why would you burn it?
We don't want any old disease that's harbored in the wood just sitting in the vineyard. We want to get that out of there. There's lots of fungal and viral pathogens that exist in the wood of the grapevine, and if you can get it out of there, it just lowers the overall disease load through the vineyard. Let's see. If I take this, it means that our left side, we're kind of stuck with using this one. I'd rather have a bigger cane over here, but that is the right one to use. So we're gonna have to accept this year that is not necessarily perfect, but it's the right choice. Because anyway, we can't really tie these down now without the right elastics. If we wanted to, we can keep this for fruiting. If we think this is better, we can keep two this year, but keep that growing for next year to be the major cane. You know, it's not an issue. So we are going to get rid of this. I think it's going the wrong way. Yep. So it's going to come down. Now you can see next year we're going to have really, really good fruit on this sector. We have all these bud positions that will grow 2 clusters per in a vertical line up this trellis. We've got 2 spots. I'm going to actually get rid of the lower part of this arm because I've got a really good bud position there that can be the future. So this bud will produce next year's cane. This will go away back to a spur. But I'm going to keep this bud because it's facing the right way.
There we go.
So So now you're starting to see next year we'll get growth here. They can replace this cane. This will get cut back. And then the following year, this little spur produces. But again, you're taking away probably 90% of the permanent, maybe more, of the wood of the previous season's growth. For now, I'm going to leave this to give myself an option to see what happens here. You don't have to do it all at once, so we're just going to let that be. All right. Very complex decision-making process, particularly in the early years, because you're trying to set structure for the future, and you need to go slow and make sure that things are in the right spot, so that, because once that becomes permanent wood, it's harder to get rid of, and you risk cutting something that's more permanent. The other reason we do this is called cane pruning. We're not keeping a lot of permanent wood because we don't want the disease that can be stored in it. Every year we want to take a lot of the wood away, get any potential disease out as much as possible. When you have big permanent arms, you know, and you're spur pruning on an arm, you have a lot of permanent wood where disease can start to create necrosis and other problems within that trunk, which impede sap flow. And you don't want that. You want the plant optimized and working well. So we like to cane prune here.